People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is On Camera with V Dot. I'm your host, V Dot. And today I'm doing a special interview because my man, the dude that I'm about to introduce, the homie, he's traveling around the world. He ain't got time to stop in my city right now because he's on tour doing a whole bunch of things. So, with no further introduction, I'd like to introduce everybody to my man, Mari Base One. How you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. What's going on with you?
Hey, it's really what's going on with you, man. For those that don't know, I know I'm finding out about him through some of the connections I have with the industry and some of the people that I know, and his name keep coming up in circles. Like he's been on tour with some big artists, Little Mosey, Blueface, right?
Yeah.
Recently had his song on billboards and iTunes.
Yep. The iTunes charts.
Yeah, the iTunes charts, the Billboard charts. So he's making a lot of moves, and also he's going through his own personal journey, and we definitely want to talk about that more. So first, we need to know what is up with West Seattle, and how has that had an impact on you and who you are.
Well, West Seattle is a area in Seattle, in west of Seattle.
West Seattle, got you.
That's just the inner city community and neighborhood where I grew up in.
Okay,
You know how different areas have different spots and sectors and all that. But West Seattle is just the overall one. But I really grew up in White Center.
now what's
Uh,
White Center?
White Center is a city slash neighborhood, in West Seattle. Um, it's kind of, I'm not gonna say suburbs. It's more just like your typical neighborhood. We got the ghettos, the drug addicts, the everything, all the above in White Center. You know what I'm
Got you.
saying? Mainly grew up in White Center, but I've been all over, like down Del Ridge, up in the High Point,
Okay,
uh, Admiral District, the Junction, Alki. Like these are all areas in West Seattle that everyone really be at if you're from that side, and then everyone even comes over because Alki is like the beach area.
got you.
Like
So,
that's the main beach area for the ocean and the
oh,
Puget Sound. Because we got lakes. We have a few lakes around here, but Alki Beach is like that main area where you can get the view of downtown. You
got
got
you.
the ocean. You got the boardwalk. People skateboarding, riding their bikes, bicycles. The bikers come out. Everyone with their low riders and cars. Like that's just the spot. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, see, I've been to Seattle a couple of times,
Oh,
and I visit, and there's a difference between a Seattle, difference between maybe like Inglewood, California, or New York and Atlanta, especially when it comes to sound. How has growing up in West Seattle impacted and influenced your music and your sound?
well, honestly, growing up in West Seattle, like I said, I just lived there. I grew
Gotcha.
up there, school in that area. You know what I'm saying? But my whole family is from different parts of Seattle.
Okay,
Uh, I got my dad's side's from the Central District, my mom's side's from the West. So I was able to be around all of it, really, to be honest with you. But how Seattle grew up and impacted my sound, my dad and my dad's side, my pops and my cousins on them, they were artists and rappers. So I grew up in the music. You know what I'm saying?
got you.
Before I was born, they creating their own record labels and all that. And I happened to just be born into it. So growing up, that's all I knew.
So you had a chance before, and this, I guess this is something rare that most artists don't get to do, which is basically have an inside look of how music is ran.
Yeah, yes, I'm gonna say yes to that question.
Uh,
But here's the dope part about it. I never looked at them guys differently because I'm just like that's just my dad. That's just
got
my
you.
cousin. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm there. As a kid, my dad kept us away from all the riffraff,
Okay,
and my parents kept us out the streets. I ball was life, basketball was life, basketball, football. Like I broke my leg. Like I'm not thinking about music, but at the end of the day, it's just so dope how music always been there for me.
Yeah.
Just listen to the radio. Like Q93 used to be our biggest, most popular radio station out here. 93.3 Q. I used to play the radio all the time, try to call in and get certain songs played because I just love music, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older, going in from like middle school to high school, I found myself freestyling at the lunch table. A couple of my partners, we just rapping just because. Like I used to come home in middle school. I used to come home and try to beat everybody home because I'm trying to rap and record into my phone while the beat's playing off the speaker. But I don't want no one to know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to do stuff like that, but not realizing that it's always been on me.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists, from you and from what I'm understanding, you kind of grew up to music, like it was all around you. I mean,
But I'm not even realizing it like that because these is just my parents or my siblings, you know, or my kin.
okay, but you still had the ability to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more original, because a lot of people, they're copycat and, oh, I seen the Migos, or I seen Ice Cube, and that's what I'm gonna imitate, or I see a young boy and that's what I'm gonna. You had the ability to grow around it, even though you ain't see, to you it was like, hey, these just my people and my family. To be so creative, to have such like your own dope, fresh style. How do you maintain that in an industry now where everybody's copying the next person, and copying that person, and not being their original self? How do you do that?
It's crazy you asked that question because, growing up, I'm copying my dad. I'm copying my cousins. I'm seeing them do it. I'm interested in that. But here's a little fun fact though I'm gonna throw in. So my folks they come from the gangster rap era, right?
Oh yeah.
In the mid 2000s. So I watched Soulja Boy blow up. I watched him take over the internet. You know what I'm saying? I saw T-Pain do what he does. I watched Lil Wayne. There's so much more, but I only say those three because those are who I was influenced by. You know what I'm saying? I got introduced to Lil B the Bass God. That's where the bass comes in my name. Because the Bass God, it was just something different, and I just took a liking to his movement and what he was doing, And that was like in high school I got introduced to him. But I say all this to say that my sound, I got inspired by them, but I kept it original to myself. You get what I'm saying? Because they all did the auto-tune rap.
Yeah, that was that era. Everybody was doing auto-tune.
Right, and so when I say like my dad and them were from the gangster rap era, so when I started coming out and doing music and letting it be known, like, this is what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
So unorthodox and foreign to them because I was auto-tune rapping. I was trying to sing. I was doing anything melodic.
Yeah. So
it was foreign and unorthodox to them, to where I had to turn them into believers. And then as time went on, I graduated my sound. I elevated it. I realized my voice is a weapon. My voice is the instrument. You know what I'm saying? I mastered the auto-tune. So that's just like a tool now. I don't have to use that all the time. That's just a tool if I want to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I just learned how to like structure and create a song and lyrically, enhance myself. And I just went through a phase, and this is pretty much what we like to call the northern flow.
The northern flow.
That's the northern flow. That's just keeping it original with yourself. It's an original style of music from Seattle. That's just what we name it.
I like that. I'm sorry. With your style of music, it's different, but it doesn't come off as no gangster.
Nah, because I had to keep it real myself.
How hard was that? especially like you saying, with your parents being in the era that they were in as gangster rap, and Seattle has its moments. Seattle has its hoods and its streets. How do how do you navigate that? How do you keep being
Well,
that type of
well,
artist?
because growing up, my parents taught us not to be followers. Always lead by example. You don't have to be a follower, you know what I'm saying? So when it came down to putting on a persona in music, like I said, I kept it real with myself. In 2018, when one of my fellow brethren got murdered, and I just kept it real with myself. I was like, you know what? I'm not about to rap about shoot 'em up, kill 'em, and doing all this. I mean, it sounded good.
Yeah.
It was fun because that's just what it was at the time. But just seeing people close to you die, and then you kind of think about like, damn, it's kind of seemed like their lyrics caught up to them, or it's just like I'm not really living that life. So I switched up my whole motif. I said if I'm gonna talk about stuff like that, it's gonna be in bars or like a metaphor.
Yeah.
But I'm out here saying I'm doing this and that when that's not what I'm doing. Nah, I just want to get money and get women. That's all I like. You know what I'm saying?
Money,
Like
listen, money and women.
money and women.
It makes the world go round right now.
You know?
Now,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say once I just had that realization with myself, the sky was the limit for me because now I was able to really embody Mari Base One. You know what I'm saying? I was able to say how I feel, how I want to feel, and what I want to do. But as long as I made it sound dope with bars, and I figured out the cadence. I never really had a personal sound at first, like a what's that word? A niche.
A niche, yeah.
Yeah, I never really had a niche at first, so it took me a while to find myself and my sound. But as years went on, I want to say like 2021 was when I really was like, I'm him. Like, I got this. Like, I found my sound. This is what I'm doing. This is how I do it. Because before that, like I said, I was doing music for a minute, but I originally started making real songs in 2013, like my senior year of high school. So from like 2013 to about 2020, I was just really finding myself, but still making music. You have to create to find what you're good at,
Got you.
So I was doing that for years. But in end of COVID, because COVID sat everybody down.
Everybody sat down.
In the house, you ain't doing nothing but what you're doing inside.
Yeah.
That's end of COVID is really when I really found myself. I was like, this is it. I know what I'm doing now. Like, this is who I am. And if you listen to my music post 2020 and above, you'll be able to understand that, especially for the ones who was around me. Mm-hmm. Long as that saw me from the beginning to when I did my first song, Bouncing, that aired on BET Jams in 2019, to the 14 other videos to date that's on that BET program, you'll hear the difference.
Got you. Now, dig this. Your music right now, you develop a sound that's like timeless.
Correct.
So you got some new music coming out. The single, what's the name of the single that you're working on right now?
So it's Spot of God, and that's out right now. I can go get it right now. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I did the live mic video in Times Square.
Ooh.
So
that's. Can you walk us through what was the creative process of you writing Spot 'em Got 'em, and what separates that from your last single that you had out and your prior music to that?
Well, first and foremost, my prior music I had before Spot 'em Got 'em was my album 48 Ounces. Mm-hmm. Powered Up, the deluxe version. It looked just like this.
Oh, and you had the CDs.
Yeah, so that was my prior project where I did my song Seattle Got That Fire, which was, been played in the Climate Pledge Arena where the Seattle Storm play, the Seattle Kraken, Lumen Field where the Seahawks play, T-Mobile Ballpark where the Mariners play. Like, I made that song for Seattle, So Seattle got that fire, big body Hummer, my international single Talk 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 featuring Young Six. That's
Okay.
been MTV based Africa, BET Jams as well. I got a whole bunch of others on there, but that project is all the music I had prior to Spot 'em Got 'em. But the process of how I made Spot 'em Got 'em
Yeah.
was me and my little cousin. His name's Bag Chaser Dave. Shout out Bag Chaser Dave. We were in my house, and he's interested in music. Like it's in our family.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes over, he just be messing around trying to record and make songs of his own. And he said something that stuck with me. But he was just playing around. I'm like, bro, if you ain't about to use it, I'm gonna use that. Well, bro, turn the traction off. I like that. Like he just inspired me,
Yeah.
Because at that time I was kind of like in writer's block. So that little line inspired me, and so my boy Dog 'em Out Beats, he sent me a beat pack, and I remember I was playing it for my dad and my sister. I was like, yeah, Dog 'em Out sent me some new beats because we all know each other. Everyone knows each other, so I'm just playing the beats so everyone can just be on the same page. This is what I got. And I left, and I was just driving because my process really comes when I'm driving, mostly.
Okay.
Just started, drop the top, mashing hard on a bit, and I just started mumbling stuff. But I said that, I'm like, let me write that down. Boom, boom, boom. So I wrote the whole hook out, and I'm like, this is it. And it's a West Coast vibe. I love West Coast music. That's one thing about me. I love West Coast music. And I found that when I do West Coast style types of music,
Uh-huh.
I execute that the best. So it was like, okay, that's hard. And then I sat on the song for a couple weeks. I'm like, I said, the hook's hard, but what I say in these verses have to be the shit, or it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
It took me like a week and a half to really write those verses and tailor it exactly how I want it, to where I did about 3 different versions of the song. Cause I'm like, nah, that ain't it. But that's the luxury of having your own recording equipment, because I can just go back and change something when I want to,
Yeah, when you paying for that studio time, it's different.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation we can have, because, man.
I know it's more convenient when you do have your own studio opposed to like when you renting out your studio time.
Uh-huh.
How's your creative process? Are you Are you writing all your lyrics, or you go in there and, because nowadays it's punch me in here and there, and then everybody think they Lil Wayne. But I've been to a million studios, and I've yet to see somebody come in there, pen and pad, really listen to the beat and get their own joint. I don't know if it's because of the not having that luxury of having your own studio, or hey, that's just not how they produce music and be as creative as the prior generations as you are with your music. Is it because you write, or is it because you freestyle and write, or a mixture of both?
Well, to touch bases on everything you just said, I'm a true believer of, if I'm gonna pay for studio time, the song is already how I want it.
Gotcha.
I'm in there to play. I got it written out, tailored. I done rapped it a million times. I done changed it to how I changed it, but I got it good enough to where, okay, it's time.
See, I like that. A lot of artists need to hear that. When you come in this studio, you there to work. A lot of kind of artists, I gotta get in the mood. Let me light this blunt. Joking with your friends. You there to work. I admire you from that. I gotta give you your flowers for that, for being about your principles.
Because I'm not wasting my money. Because folks don't realize, when you're independent, this stuff comes out your own pocket.
Yeah, and that was another thing I wanted to touch on about being independent.
Game of, if y'all gonna spend this much money on studio time, and it's not a problem. I'm not knocking studios at all, period. But if you're gonna spend this much money and you know you're on a budget, why don't you go invest in XYZ? And earn it. You can still keep going to the studio.
Yeah.
But why not learn it on the side Because once you learn it and you learn how to record yourself, you learn how to mix your vocals down, you know how to master, you know how to find the tempo to beats and you know what key is supposed to be in. And once you learn all that, my thing is bigger studios can't beat you. You know what you're in there, you know what you're doing.
Got you.
I know I sound like this and that. So you can kind of like not coach the engineer, but like have a say so of like, nah, you're just not in there confused, you know?
Yeah.
Because if an engineer has never worked with you, they're kind of guess mixing you.
And I think that's the issue with a lot of artists. They don't take the time to learn the craft. They see the fame, the fortune, the girls, the money, and they get excited with that. But the process of learning that joint and just
Right.
going through the trenches, it seems like you already been there, especially with what you're telling me as far as your understanding of how to compose a song. Most artists don't even know, hey, yo, you out of tune. They don't even know how to tell a producer, yo, that's not my sound. They just go in there, all right, whatever you trying to do.
But that all comes with trial and error though, because like I said, I'm a firm believer. If I ain't never worked with you, we ain't never put time in. We're starting from zero.
Exactly.
But if I'm spending my money, you're gonna like automatically expect. But it's like that's repetitiveness. You gotta keep doing that. But that goes with anything in life. Doing it to learn how to do it. But I've tried to give free game before on this is what you should invest in. I had folks come over and see my setup and be inspired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, bro, and it don't happen overnight. Me learning how to record and mix and master myself took, so let's say 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 12 years.
That's a minute.
That's how long I've been doing it. So I could tell you how I started from the beginning thoroughly to how now about an hour or two, I'll be done.
Now, I know when you first started doing music, you weren't the one producing your joint, was you?
See, I don't make beats.
Oh, okay.
The only thing left in my arsenal that I have to conquer.
Got you.
It's different and it's not for everybody.
If you learn how to make beats, you'll be the Seattle's version of J. Cole.
Yeah, I'm a one-stop shop.
Yeah, exactly. And I think looking at music today, it's a lot of fast food music. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of timeless music, and I can say by just listening to some of the music. I haven't got a chance to go through all of it and stuff like that, but just listening to it, it was different. It was like I didn't hear where a lot of times when I listen to music, I'm listening to creativity. I'm listening to styles. I'm listening to like, hey, they know when to hit the beat. They know how to not just flow, but the wordplay and stuff like that. It wasn't cookie cutter. It wasn't you trying to imitate somebody. How has your music, from where you are now? I know you learned in the beginning you learned how to do everything. You learned how to compose your own music. How is that journey now, knowing everything you know about the music, making your own beat? Is it easier for you to compose a song and put a song together, or do you still have some writer's block, or you still have some setbacks when it comes to making music?
That's a great question too, because I literally just came out of writer's block 2 days ago. So yeah, I feel like everyone gets writer's block. I get it, and sometimes I be having to go do stuff and be in the mix of certain things to get some inspiration,
Got you.
But when it just comes down to composing the track, once the lyrics are down, or when I'm sitting here, like, it don't take that long because I know my cadence. I know how I'm gonna sound before I even turn this microphone on. That's the cool part about it. That trips me out that I learned along the way. It's like I be saying what I want to say, like when you're just rehearsing and going over your stuff, and it's like, dang, I already know how I want to sound because I understand and I know how to mix. So since I know how to do all that, it's like it be blowing my mind sometimes. And I want to touch bases on, because I skipped over one of your questions that I'm remembering, is when I write lyrics, sometimes I just write without a beat. Sometimes it just be right here, or I just be somewhere and I think of something, I'll write it down in my phone.
Gotcha.
And I do it later. Or sometimes when I be hearing beats, sometimes the beats speak to me. And I'm like, damn, this shit's hard. This is speaking to me, and the beat's playing, and all of a sudden I just say a line. I'm like, okay, write that down. I don't like punching in. I only punch in if it's necessary to how my verse is structured.
Okay.
There's run-on sentences, then I'll punch in. But I'm not about to sit here and be like, XYZ, XYZ.
Punch me in.
XYZ, let me hear that. I personally just don't like that.
I think, and like I said, this a lot of times and talk to my audience. A lot of times y'all already know. This just be my personal opinion on my experience on how I see and how I view music. You can agree or disagree. It's up to you. It's a free country. But how I see it, not a lot of artists like you get shined to the light. Not a lot of artists like you get that push that artists that come out with a song, pants on my hanging on my legs low or some joint like that, or this sounds like the last person that came out. Why do you feel like, even though as good as your music is, and as good as the artist is, and with all these capabilities and talents that you have, why do you feel like, do you feel, let me say, not say, put it in your words in your head, do you feel like artists on your particular type status don't get the love and respect that y'all deserve?
Are you just talking about in Seattle or just worldwide?
Just worldwide. And they saying we running out of time. This is the first time doing this Zoom meeting, but yeah, just worldwide.
Worldwide, I personally feel like it's hard for everyone when they first start off and throughout their journey. You dig what I'm saying? You just got to keep working, keep mashing on them, and your hard work and grind and dedication, your consistency is what's going to get you there.
Gotcha.
You know, and just don't ever give up. Because I'm a prime example of that, of not giving up. I've been working for years, and I feel like I'm just now getting the type of respect that I'm supposed to get, but I still got other levels to, to reach, because I always tell myself I don't have no ceilings.
Yeah.
I don't want to tap on myself because I got way more to achieve. I got a lot more milestones to hit. I'm still climbing. I just can't help that my growth and success is, moving at a rapid pace more than others.
Now, that's crazy that you say that, because I was about to say it's a lot of artists that don't even have the structure that you have. A lot of artists trying to figure it out. How hard was it for you to figure out your place and how to move as being an independent artist?
Well, I give all that props to my dad.
Got you.
Pops, Mr. Benjamin, like I said, he walked the walk already. He showed me the ropes through the game. It was just up to me to bow my head and listen, because I learned how to be an artist, and I learned the business side of it, and that's what a lot of people, I gotta say people, not just artists, but just people, period, don't understand the business side of the music industry.
Yeah, you're right.
I had to learn all that shit, so I give him big props for that, because, we bumped heads a couple times, but when I listened.
When you listen.
But that just goes with anything in life. When you listen, the sky's the limit for you. You blossom.
Facts. Now, I think that as far as like being in your shoes and just listening to your journey, like you're right, you have appreciation for the fact that you was blessed. You had that helping hand. A lot of artists don't have that helping hand. A lot of artists don't understand anything. They just jump in head first.
Right.
But
yeah.
I know it still was struggle there as far as just learning these ropes. What was the biggest hurdle that you had to deal with as far as being like an independent artist?
Well, there's so many. I'm just gonna touch bases on like a couple.
Gotcha.
The first one was learning how to perform.
Mm, mm. Yo,
Learning learning how to perform, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to mimic what I see from like Lil Wayne and like Wayne. I watched a lot of Wayne performance tapes, you know, and then in my era, even coming out, you know, who's coming out, Yachty, Kodak, 21.
yeah.
He like that was the freshman class like when I first started type. So it's like they brought that innovation of the I can't even say mumble rap, but like SoundCloud rap.
No, you're right. You're right. It was mumble rap. It was mumble rap.
I didn't want to classify it as mumble, like a straight mumble, because it was more. Not all of them mumble.
Yeah, you're right. My fault.
Just seeing that and just watching it, I'm trying to mimic that. But one thing I learned in this game of being a entertainer, you have to learn stage presence. You got to learn crowd participation. But most and foremost, you got to know your lyrics. I used to rap over myself.
Oh, no. I'm glad he's saying this. For all you artists are watching now, like I said, we try to drop jewels, especially when we interviewing. I'm glad he said it because I stay saying this. A lot of artists don't know their lyrics. They could have just made the song yesterday and still struggling with learning their lyrics. That is a
Right.
key part. Don't nobody want to come see you perform and you can't perform your own song. Go ahead, man. I'm glad you said it, man.
But it's literally like knowing your lyrics front to back, back to front. Like that's one thing I was always taught to do, and I ain't gonna say pressure, but like it's like going to practice every day. If I gotta go to football practice, I gotta learn them routes.
Yeah.
Going to basketball practice, I'm gonna take a million jump shots a day to perfect my craft. You know what I'm saying? So once I was told, once it was pretty much a list of what to do, and I don't know. At first, I was hard headed. I wasn't really, when someone's trying to tell you to do something, but you're just like, "What are you telling me to do that for? Like, don't tell me what to do." Like that was my mindset I had in the beginning.
Got you.
But like I said, once I just bowed my head and just listened and actually started doing it over and over again, because when you're not used to doing something, it's unorthodox to you, so it feels weird. It's funny. It don't feel right. It's uncomfortable. But once the more and more and more I started doing it, I started realizing like the importance of this, because you can be put on the spot. You can rap your lyrics over any type of beat if it flows, or if I was able to just do it a cappella. People love to just hear you. I'm not coming to hear you karaoke yourself, but I have to learn this though.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest free game I can say is learn your lyrics front to back. Create proper show tracks to help you do that. Just keep the hook on there and then empty your verses, but add your cue ins where you want it. Where you want to take a deep breath. Or where it just comes in, you have a punchline and punches in for you. You know, your show track, you can do it in so many ways. There's no correct way. And if there is, correct me.
Got
You
you.
know, people do it in how.
Hey, in my downtime, I like smoking some of the best flower. That's why today's show is brought to you by Preem's Dispensary. Preem's, with 2 locations here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the only dispensary on the East Coast with a money back guarantee. Check out Preem's Dispensary and go chase that dragon.
They want to do it, but just overall, just don't rap over yourself.
I love that message, and say a lot of your artists need to hear some of this. Even some of y'all artists that's already been in the game, y'all definitely need to hear some of this. So like I want to take time and definitely give you your roses because
Thank you. Thank you.
I see the journey and I can't wait to see the journey where you go, the milestones that you hit and stuff like that. Like and the free game that you're giving. Because some artists they don't get this chance, they don't get the chance to even listen to hear some of this stuff.
I
So
got one more before
yeah, 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 yeah.
switch the subject or end it. The other one I wanted to touch bases on was how to market yourself.
Mm. See, see that I'm gonna let you touch up, but I stay marketing, so I know that's a longer conversation. But
But
but for those that don't understand, give us some free game for us to take home with us.
okay, free game. I'm gonna touch base on the marketing one. I'm not gonna make it too long, but during this journey, I had to learn how to market yourself. Like I said, my pops and them come from the gangster rap era. They don't come from the internet era. From getting outside, hand-to-hand combat,
Passing it out.
CDs and flyers, telling, "Hey, go check me out." You know, and I didn't really understand the importance of it because I used to be a shy person. I wanted to let someone else do it for me, but I realized the fruits of the labor doing that because now you can meet a friend, shake a hand. They get to see you. Now, don't be at a show and you're part of the show, but you want to stand out, so you're gonna go and mingle with everyone in the front. Hey, take a flyer. Here's my CD. Hey, I'm going on tonight. Check me out. I'm Mari Base One. This is who I am. Da, da, da. Y'all see me right here. I'm on the bill. Here, take. Now they got it beforehand. Now when you go up there and shine like the star you are, you win them over. Like, damn, he came outside and shook my hand.
Now I feel like I met somebody.
Damn, he signed my CD for me. Oh, let me follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the quick way to say it, because there's much more to it. About
It go deeper.
it goes deeper, because there's nothing wrong with spending money on yourself for
Well,
knowing that they're all probably gonna be thrown on the ground. So what?
hold on, because we got less than a minute.
Okay,
But I want you to do, we going to definitely have to have a conversation again. Like I said, I'm new to the Zoom, so I don't know how to work it. Tell us where we can find you, your music and everything, Gab, real quick.
got you. So you can find all my music on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Tidal, SoundCloud, Mari Base One, MARIBASED1, like you see right here on my name. And then you can go get my new single, Spot 'em Got 'em, produced by Dog 'em Out Beats. You can go get our Seattle Music is Real merch on our website.
Yeah, who shot you? As we proceed.